Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya.
Hi friends, I am at Brahmeshwar temple. This is one of the most elegant temples in the Ekamra Kshetra of Bhubaneswar, built in the 11th, 10th, 11th century AD. So more than 1000 years back this temple was built, and it is made out of locally available sandstones. So this temple is actually a Panchayatana temple. You have the main temple of Brahmeshwar, and surrounding Brahmeshwar, surrounding the main temple, surrounding the Shikhara or the Vimana, you have four shrines at four corners. So that is how it is called a Panchayatana temple. Brahmeshwar temple is little away from the main cluster of temples. It is in the eastern part of the city, Ekamra Kshetra, close to river Daya, and where the famous battle of Kalinga was fought. And to the south of Brahmeshwar temple is the massive fort of Siswalgarh, which was the capital of ancient Kalinga, though it was much earlier than the temple built in 10th, 11th century. One of the major aspects of this Brahmeshwar temple is that there are depictions of numerous amorous couples, and you can see before me there are two couples who are shown in erotic postures. By 10th century AD, what had happened in Bhubaneswar, that the temple's size became massive, and you have also two-storied jangas, which actually you would know a Hindu temple actually represents a cosmic Purusha, and all the body parts of that human being are represented in a Hindu temples. So here you have two-storied jangas, lower janga and upper jangas, and you find a depiction of amorous couples at the upper jangas. According to Puranas, when the marriage processions of Shiva was taking place in Ekamra, the physical beauty of Shiva was had so much of charm that women of different, while they were doing different household activities, so they would leave everything and come for a darshan of Shiva, because somebody would be in the middle of the bathing, somebody would be feeding her baby, in various stages. Somebody would be doing singar rasa, but they would give up all their activities, and they will just rush into the street to have a darshan of Shiva. But actually it was not Shiva, it was actually the king, because the king had so much of charm and power. So he had a very masculine personality. He was elegant. So for his darshan, a lot of women would come forward, to have a darshan of him. Another thing which I will tell you in the next panels is that how urban elite is represented in the temples of Brahmeshwar, because Bhubaneswar was going through a massive phase of urbanizations at that time. So there were, like today Bhubaneswar is a smart city. At that time also, there was a lot of penetration of urban culture into Ekamra Kshetra. So you will find how urban elites, urban culture are represented through the sculpture panels. Here before me you see also a beautiful couple, and the woman is holding a musical instrument, and man is standing beside her. So this couple again talks about the kind of urban culture existing in Bhubaneswar in 11th century. And when we think about this temple, when we talk about these temples, what attracts us is more that women were given a lot of freedom, unlike you have in other parts of India. Here at Ekamra, there was a lot of liberty given to women, and there was no difference observed between man and woman. The depiction of amorous couples and urban elites continue. Before me, again, you have another sculpture panel where you have a couple. The woman is playing a musical instrument like the previous one, and here also we see the the representation of urban culture, urban elite culture in 11th century. On the left of the panel, you have a Salavanjika. Salavanjika is actually a concept which goes back to early centuries of Christian era. You have the depiction of Salavanjika at Sanchi Gateway, which goes back to the time of Sunga period, that is 1st century BC, just after Ashoka. Basically, you will find a woman holding a branch of a Sala tree and or Ashoka tree, and that represents the cult of fertility. So women are associated with the cult of fertility, and that is how when they are holding a branch of a tree, so both are aligned and they represent the representation of fertility cult. And on this at this Salavanjika, you also see the depiction of a parrot, and parrot, peacock and monkeys are associated with love. So Bhubaneswar was celebrated as the city, as the land of Kamadeva's pleasure gardens. So you have beautiful depiction of rasas, amorous couples and love scenes, divine love scenes in all of its temples. So this is one of them, and it's one of the most elegant, one of the most beautiful sculptures of Salavanjika you find in the Ekamra Kshetra. Before me, there is another panel where it's a scene of Janana actually, where all are women. You can see one woman who is standing beside the door, and then there are a group of women, and one woman is addressing them. Probably she is the queen or the princess, and all of them are her sakhis. So this shows that both man as well as women were given equal status in Bhubaneswar, and such kind of representations in a Hindu temples, what you observe, will be not found in other religious shrines. So this shows that how Ekamra was so advanced at the time of 11th century compared to many other parts of India. This panel is again very interesting, because in the previous panel we saw the women Janana. Here you see a darbar scene where everyone is a man. So a king, the king is sitting on the throne, and he is addressing a group of his his subjects in the panel. So this shows that how the temple builders had balanced both depicting while the women in the scenes of women's activities as well as men's activities. So this is how I think they had given a proper justice while depicting both the genders in the temples. You also see a beautiful representation of a dancing performance. So in the panel you find one woman at the center stage surrounded by so many men holding different musical instruments. So this is one of the musical events which was very popular in Ekamra Kshetra at that time, so is represented here. This panel shows a school scene where a teacher is addressing his pupil. So this shows that how education, how Gurukul education system was prevalent in Bhubaneswar at that time. So this is the sacred pond attached to the temple of Brahmeshwar, and this pond is supposed to have the medicinal property. But unfortunately, because of massive sprawl of urbanizations, now the water has become little polluted. But this is protected by Archaeological Survey of India. Earlier it was little dilapidated, now it is being restored by ASI. And in every Hindu temple you will find a sacred pond attached to it. It is believed that before you enter to the Garbhagriha of the temple for a darshan of the Lord, so you must cleanse yourself, you must be purified. So that is how you have to take a holy bath before you enter to the temple. So this has been a practice in India and in Odisha and also in Bhubaneswar from time immemorial.